welcome to Alpha Militaria TV. Thanks very much for tuning in once again. My name is Richard Saunders. Now, if you're one of our regular subscribers, I want to say a big thank you to you for subscribing. And if you come across us perhaps for the first time, you might want to hit that subscribe button as well, because it really does help us out. And there are a couple of other ways that you can support the channel by clicking on the links below to our new online store, and also to some Amazon pages for products that I use on a regular basis. Now, we're looking at a rifle today that comes from a Ukrainian company called Zbroia, and this model is the Zbroia Hortitsia MK2. Now, Zbroia have three models of their rifle. There's this one, the Hortitsia. There's a bullpup called the Cossack, and that's out just now under MK2 as well. And then there's also a very sort of tactical bullpup as well called the Sapsan. And over a very quick period of time, Zbroia has earned a reputation for producing very stylish rifles that are very reliable, perform well, and yet don't cost the earth. And in actual fact, this one will cost you £540. They're distributed in the UK and sold in the UK by Pelpax, and they will sell one of these to you for, it's actually £539.99. So great value for money. Now, there are actually three versions of this rifle. This one is the shortest version. It has a 300mm barrel and a 200cc air tube. Then you can get a version that has a 450mm barrel and a 230cc cylinder. And then there's a version as well which is a 550mm barrel and a 230cc cylinder. I would expect that 550mm barrel version to be more for the high-powered rifles, although as I understand it, you can specify a 12 foot-pound version if you want one as a special order. Now, the rifles are available either with this quite stylish black stained stock or a brown finish as well. But for some reason, Zbroia only supply the rifles as a dedicated right-hander only. So if you're a left-hander, I'm sorry about that. They did that with the Mark 1, and with the Mark 2, they've carried that over as well for some reason. Now, the difference between the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 really comes down to the fact that the Mark 2 has a redesigned regulator, much more efficient regulator, and also this straight pull cocking system has also been redesigned to make it a little bit more robust. On some of the Mark 1 rifles, if you cocked the rifle too quickly, then the bolt could sort of break down a little bit on some of them. So the bolt is much more robust in the Mark II. Now, the rifle comes with two magazines. It also comes with two filler probes as well, and it also comes with a sling stud, and we'll show all of that to you in a little bit more detail after we've had a quick run through of all the key features. So starting at the back of the rifle, you have this solid rubber butt pad. There's no adjustment to it. It's not perforated, just solid rubber, but it's pretty comfortable in the shoulder. And it's finished off with this red spacer, which is quite nice. Now, the stock itself, as I said before, is a dedicated right-hander, and it has this quite nice high comb which gives you good eye alignment for a scope, and is rolled over at the top and finished quite nicely. And there's a bit of a cheek piece on this left-hand side. Now, there's no checkering anywhere on the rifle, nothing on the pistol grip, nothing on the forend at all. But I didn't find the rifle, particularly slippery when I used it. It was fine. The pistol grip itself is it's quite slender, quite comfortable. You can shoot this with a thumb up or a thumb wrapped around grip very easily as well. Now, the trigger out of the box, I found the first stage on the trigger quite heavy, and it is adjustable. But it comes up against a very defined second stage stop, and then lets off really, really crisply. And in actual fact, I had this rifle on the range a little while ago when I was reviewing this scope, the MTC Cobra F1, and I was getting some really good groups with the rifle. And I think that's down to the trigger. I got used to it very, very quickly, found it very, very nice to use. Now then, in front of it, there is a safety catch just underneath here, a little gold switch. You know that I don't like safety catches inside the trigger guard, but it does lock things up nice and securely. And then the main kind of standout unique feature on this rifle is the straight pull cocking action. Now most rifles either have a side lever, or if they have a bolt, it's a bolt that you have to lift up, pull back, push forward and push down again. On this rifle, it's a straight pull bolt. All you do literally is pull it back to cock the rifle, push it in to seat the pellet. That's it. Very, very simple. Just going to dry fire this. Now what I would say is this handle is quite small, and I was using my trigger finger to pull it back and then my thumb to push the back of the bolt in. And if you sit on a range for an hour or so and you're firing shot after shot after shot, your trigger finger can get quite tender. It may be that I'm just a bit of a baby, I don't know, but I found it quite uncomfortable after a little while. Obviously if you're hunting, when you're not going to be cocking the thing every 30 seconds, it really isn't an issue. On top of the action, you have a Picatinny rail, which is a good sized Picatinny rail, gives you plenty of room to mount a scope nice and comfortably. This is a 50mm objective lens scope, and as you can see, with a set of, I think they're medium mounts, you can get nice and low to the barrel. Now the magazine is a disc type magazine, takes 10 shots in 2.2 and 1.77, and it's inserted into the breech from the right hand side, and we'll go through the whole cocking and loading process in a little while. The magazine is very similar to the HW100 style. It's just a simple disc, push the pellets in, push the magazine in, no gates to open, no springs to rotate or anything like that. Nice and simple, and you get 2 of these. Now the barrel, this is the 300mm barreled version, so this is the shortest version of the rifle. It's fully shrouded and it has a cap on the end that you can unscrew to attach a silencer. But I have to say, I found this really, really quiet without a silencer. Probably as quiet, or in fact more quiet, than a lot of rifles that I shoot that have a silencer on them. Really, really quiet rifle, which is good because if you don't have to put a silencer on, then you're maintaining this very compact size. Now the cylinder is a 200cc cylinder. The larger one is 230cc, but this is 200cc's. Now I couldn't find in the magic book of words what the fill pressure is for this. It says on the side that it is has a maximum work of 300 bar. Now I don't suggest you put 300 bar in it at all. I've been putting 200 bar in, erring on the side of caution, and if anyone knows a more correct fill pressure, please put it into the comments below so that everyone knows. But my advice would be, for now, stick to 200 bar until someone comes along and confirms that it's something else. And I haven't counted the number of shots I've been getting from it because, as I say, I was busy reviewing this scope. But when I go down to the range or to one of my permissions for a shoot, then what I'll do is I shall fill this up to 200 bar, take it right down until it goes off the regulator, and see how many shots we get. And then filling it is achieved by twisting a collar at the top of the cylinder here. I'll show you that in a second or two. And then, as you can probably see, right at the end there is a pressure gauge to show you what your fill pressure is. There's no sort of red zone or yellow zone or anything like that. It's just a white gauge. And unfortunately, it is located right underneath the muzzle, which is not great, but lots of manufacturers do that. Right, so I think that's the main points on the rifle. What we'll do now is we'll go through the whole magazine loading process, inserting the magazine into the breech, show you also the air filling process, and we'll also zoom in on the key features in closer up detail. You get 2 magazines with the Hortitsia. As I said before, they are this straightforward disc type magazine. Now you might be able to see that on one side you've got these sort of like angled teeth, if you like, and that is the side of the magazine that you want facing back towards you when you put it into the breech. And the other side is more rounded, and that's the side that's going to go forward towards the muzzle. And loading it is very, very easy. With that toothed side facing you, all you've got to do is literally push the pellets into the holes in any order. There's no spring, there's no rotating it to preload it or anything like that. All you've got to do is just push the pellets in, and they're held in place with a couple of O-rings. Now, the 2.2 magazine takes 10 shots, and I think I might have said that the 177 takes 10 as well before. If I did, sorry about that, I was lying. The 177 takes 12 shots, not 10. And you just keep going around, filling them all in, all the holes in, until they're all loaded into the magazine. I've taken all the pellets back out of this magazine now to show you how it goes into the breech. It's a very simple process. First stage is to take this straight pull bolt and pull it all the way back as far as it will go. And then with the jagged side of the magazine facing you, just put it into the breech from the right hand side, push it in all the way, and then return the bolt. Now, one of the things I like about the Hortitsia is it's full of little design features, and really thoughtful design features at that. One of them is that you get 2 fill probes, and they're exactly the same apart from the fitting. One of them has got a threaded end to go directly onto to screw onto an airline, and the other one has this sort of quick fit, this quick attachment fitting already molded into the end. And normally you have to buy an additional fitting that screws onto the threaded probe to give you that kind of attachment on the end. But obviously with this one, it's already incorporated within it. And that means on these kind of quick attachment fittings, you can literally just snap your probe directly into those fittings, which is a really, really nice little feature. Now the second thing is on the actual fill port itself. Hopefully you can see inside this little slot here, there's like a machine stop. So you rotate the collar until you come up against that stop, and that reveals the actual fill port. And then when you've finished, you rotate it back against that stop in the other direction to close the fill port off again. Now that's something that not even guns costing 3 or 4 times as much as this have on them. So a really good little feature. So open up that port, take your fill probe, insert it into the port as far as it will go. And then, as I say, I've been given this a 200 bar fill, which is about there. A little bit less. Take out your fill probe and close the collar up against that stop again, and you're good to go. So there you have it, quick rundown on the Zbroia Hortitsia MK2. Really great little budget rifle this, 540 quid, fully regulated, really nice to handle. Next stop, we'll take it down the range or on one of my permissions and see how well it shoots. Right, well let's see how this Zbroia Hortitsia MK2 shoots. I put a target out at 30 meters, and I'm using Air Arms Dabbler filled pellets, 2.2 caliber, 5.52 millimeters. So let's see how we get on. that's a full magazine, 10 shots. Let's go and see how we got on. Back of my truck is not the most stable of positions to shoot from. I'm going to let pig zero that. But, well, you've got to be pleased with that, I have to say. Let me just get this in focus. Zoom that out a little bit. That's a full magazine at 30 meters. And I reckon 8 of those shots have gone through one hole there. Just a couple high and right. But yeah, you know, for standing up on the back of the truck, wobbling around on a beanbag, that's not too bad at all. Just goes to show what that regulated action is capable of. Well, there you go. That is the Zbroia Hortitsia MK2. Have to say, really impressed with this little rifle. I just finished up at 150 shots through it on a 200 bar charge, and probably 140 of those were within half an inch or so at 30 meters. Incredibly accurate, very, very consistent as well. I did put this on the chronograph, and it measured a very, very consistent 11.65 foot-pounds, which is great. And the other thing that I discovered on this, and I should have mentioned before, is that it has an anti-double load feature as well, so you can't put 2 pellets down the spout, which is a really great feature, and something even a lot of more expensive guns just don't have. So anyway, I hope you found that useful. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you get a chance, have a look at our links below to our store and to our Amazon pages. And if you'd like more information on a whole range of airgunning topics, check out our website, which is www.alphamilitaria.com. Thanks for watching.